All right, guys, we are back. We are fucking back. Niggas thought that we was done. Niggas thought the current AirPod had died, but guess fucking what, bitch? We are here. We still alive. Monty, what's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. Live from Vegas, live from Atlanta. You know, hell going on. Current AirPod,
Well,
man. We back.
all right. So, as we always do, this news reviews, updates, and not tabloids, tidbits. I will start off with some trailers and
All right, let's do it.
give me your thoughts. We have the first trailer for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. Premieres April 19th on
Yeah.
Netflix. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this trailer did not look fun. This trailer didn't look exciting.
And for reference, we're
Um,
big Power Rangers fans, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Both of us are '90s kids. Both of us grew up on the show. Literally, like this is probably one of the first things I loved in my life was like Power Rangers. So, for it to still be kicking 30 years later is kind of crazy. Even though this version of it obviously isn't, but for Power Rangers as a whole to still be kicking is kind of crazy. But yeah, this trailer looked terrible. I mean, if I'm being an objective fan and I'm not just being like a blind reactor to like just something that I love, this did not look good. But look, maybe this is just another one of those instances where they bring back something from my childhood, but it's just not for me. Even though they literally have the Rangers that we grew up on, like they have Billy, they have Zach, they have Catherine. For some reason, they couldn't get Amy Jo Johnson or Jason David Frank, and Amy Jo Johnson seems to think that you know Jason David Frank just didn't do it. So I mean, I'm still kind of holding out hope, but they sure are keeping it under wraps if that's the case. So
Like, who's in
um,
that Green Ranger suit?
just a stunt double, I guess. I don't know. I
Damn.
don't know. But yeah, this trailer didn't look fun, man. I mean, obviously, I'm still going to watch it as soon as it comes out, but
Mhm.
like, I'm expecting this to be terrible. What about you?
No, no, I totally agree. It looked awful. Um, and well, okay. Also, it's funny too. Like, okay, so they kind of addressed Trini dying, right? Like they said,
Yeah.
like she died like in universe. That's kind of
hmm
morbid, but how do you feel
Well,
about that?
yeah. So I think they kind of needed to address it because I don't think they ever have. Like in the show itself, she went off on the foreign exchange with Jason and who left? Jason and Zach, and we just never heard from her again, like at all. Jason and Zach came back through different
Hmm.
points, but she didn't. So this is her daughter, I think is what they said, or
Yeah,
granddaughter.
her,
I'm not sure.
yeah, daughter, I believe.
It's her daughter, yeah. So this is her daughter coming back. And yeah, I like it and respect it because for a lot of people, including myself, Trini is the Yellow Ranger. So
Hmm.
I respect it.
Yeah, and just last thing, the suits still look amazing. Like the OG Mighty Morphin suits, it's just a clean look. It was cool seeing that again.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
And Zach hasn't aged a bit. So
He
yeah.
has, he has, but it's okay. It's okay. He's like fucking 45 now. It's fine. Actually, he's older
Okay.
than that. He's in his 50s. He's older than that. He
Well,
still had
he looks great then.
He does. No, he does. He does. He does. He still had one of the best scenes in fucking House Party. I don't care what nobody says. When that
Oh
nigga
my
showed up at
god.
House Party, I was cracking the fuck up.
I'm just here for the bitches.
Right, nigga, move, nigga, nigga. Zach.
Yeah. Very niche demographic of bitches he's looking for. Anyway, we have the first trailer for Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story. It's been comes into Netflix on May 4th.
Yeah.
I watched the first Bridgerton like halfway through, couldn't do it. I know
hmm
people love it. Didn't watch
hmm
season two. What are your thoughts as a Bridgerton viewer?
Yeah. Really loved season one. I mean, and this is coming from someone that's just not my demographic. Like, I'm not typically I'm not a huge fan of love stories. Excuse me. I'm not a huge fan of love stories, but this one for some reason just kind of worked. Like I was totally invested in the story and the mystery. Season two didn't really hit the same, but it didn't have the same characters. I mean, the characters that were majorly involved in season two were kind of background characters in season one. So I mean, they were there, but they weren't the focal point. And then in season three, they're going in like a new direction, and this is kind of like the style of the show. Like everybody that shines in one season will basically not in another, and that's fine. I mean, it's a way to keep the show fresh and alive. But for somebody that gets attached to characters like I do, it's kind of hard to like really care. So this trailer in particular, even though it's Queen Charlotte, we see her as this old regal, queen of the nation essentially, and now we're gonna get kind of her background and her story. I don't really care. The trailer didn't necessarily excite me, to be completely honest. I'll probably watch it just because I know Avi will, and I'll be lurking in the background, I guess. But this trailer like didn't make me like I don't even know when this comes out. So
Comes out on May 4th on Netflix.
thanks, Monty. What'd you
You're
think?
welcome. um, more Bridgerton shit. I don't really have too much to input, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, we have a new trailer for Secret Invasion, which has been
Mm.
released. This is the new Marvel show starring Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Premieres on June 21st on Disney Plus. What are your thoughts?
It looked. I mean, so this trailer isn't necessarily super different than what we originally got as far as like a tone of the show. Like it still
Right.
feels like this, super spy type thing, which is cool. Like this is kind of what I wanted from a Nick Fury show. Um, but like it almost kind of makes me believe that they're not going to go that direction, and like it's just going to be like this, like kind of blow them up type thing. I just don't know why. Like I'm starting kind of to like lose faith in Marvel when it comes to their TV shows. Um, but like obviously this is something that we're going to be watching week to week. We'll review it on the pod, hopefully. I mean, unless it's terrible like Moon Knight. No, I'm just kidding. I like Moon Knight, but you hated it, so
I didn't
yeah.
hate
I
it.
mean, you did. So like, I mean, like, I'm not sure why, but like, I was expecting to see more
Scrolls.
Daenerys. No,
Oh,
more Daenerys.
Emilia Clarke.
Amelia Clark. Thank you. Yeah, I was expecting to see more of her in the trailer. It was cool to see Kobe Smulders back, but like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just reaching a different point in my life with the whole MCU superhero thing. Like maybe I no seriously, like maybe I am getting bored now because this didn't excite me. If I'm being real, it just didn't.
Well,
Or
damn. Well,
maybe they just got to start. And I think this is something I mentioned a year ago. They need to start back focusing on characters that really matter. Like I love Nick Fury. I love
I
Samuel
say
Jackson.
Nick Fury don't matter.
No, he doesn't. Like
Wow.
where's Cap, Iron Man, and Thor?
Stop
Where's
saying that
Superman,
bullshit.
Batman? No, this is how I feel. Like I went to go see fucking Shazam, which was terrible. I went to go see what else just recently came out? Black Adam. Well, I enjoyed it, but the masses hated it.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, like Jesus Christ. Quantumania. Oh boy. Like can we get some real shit back, please? Sorry, go ahead, Monty.
No, no. I enjoyed this trailer. I like the tone it was going for. I would like a show focused on Nick Fury, unlike you, real Marvel fan. Um, and just the idea of the scrolls coming in and you not knowing who's who, and that kind of stuff intrigues me. I like the tonality of this. Like, I enjoy She-Hulk a lot, but I enjoy Miss Marvel a lot. But I like this kind of Falcon and Winter Soldier type feel, like that realism, steeped in Marvel. So I'm excited for it, and I like Ben Mendelsohn. I like him as Talos. I like, of course, Emilia Clarke, and like you said, Kobe Smulders. So I think it's got a really good cast here.
I agree.
And I'm excited for it. I bring MCU shows back.
So who's the villain in this? Is it like
It's unknown. I mean, it could be Ben Mendelsohn. It could be Ben Mendelsohn Talos, but last time we saw he was a good guy. So, but
right?
who knows? Because the scrolls are in the comics bad traditionally.
Traditionally,
And Captain Marvel, that was like people were like a bait and switch. Like, okay, the scrolls aren't bad.
mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Who knows?
Okay. I feel like they showed like a quick second of a villain figure when he was like, what do you say? Like I forgot what he said. He said something mysterious, and I was like, ooh. But like, wait, was that? No, that might have been Blue Beetle actually. So yeah, I have no idea who the bad guy is.
That was Blue Beetle. I know what you mean too. I know the scene you're talking about, Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
We have the new trailer for Pixar's Elemental, which has been released. The film comes out June 16th in theaters. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So another, I think this particular teaser, like just the teaser of her getting on the train and all the other elementals, like I feel like I've seen that teaser like a million times. I'm not sure why. Like it feels like every movie I go to see, or like every movie I went to see, like they showed this specific teaser. We finally get like a full length trailer. If I'm being real, this didn't excite me either, bro. Like, I mean, I feel like we've kind of seen this story, but I think what was that, Monty?
Every time you say something I like, I'm gonna heart it. I'm gonna heart. I'm gonna heart it.
Okay, wow. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, look, we've kind of seen this, like, you can do anything, you can love who you want type story, which is cool. Like, I feel like those stories have a place, but like, I think I'm gonna skip this if I'm being real. So go ahead, Monty. Okay, you like that too? Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I don't know if I'm aging out of the Pixar thing, man, but
yeah, for real.
I still think movies like Finding Nemo, Incredibles, like I think if I watched those today for the first time, I would be, wow, this is a great movie. I
You think so?
genuinely think that.
Okay.
But this movie, like, it's I know it's for kids, but the theme, like you said, kind of like it just is too overarching. Like it's too heavy handed. Like okay, like you said, oh, it's okay to love somebody who's different than me. Like I feel like the kids movies that we grew up on and that are considered great are very much more subtle in their thematic, I guess, ways of going about it. Like today, I feel like they don't even trust kid audiences at all. Like kids are smarter than you think. They can get that. They can get like Aladdin did that perfectly. Like you can love somebody who's different than you without the trailer being like, oh, he's just a street rat. She's a princess. Like they don't trust kids anymore, and it's sad. But it just looks way too heavy handed for me in terms of the theme.
So, are you going to see this movie?
Yes.
Okay. So
and I'll be mad.
I mean, look. I'm
just because Pixar has the storied history. I have to watch anything they put out. I feel like.
Okay. So, like, I don't say those things to be right. Like, I hope when you go see it, you can report back and you can be like, bro, like this movie's fantastic. It was much more than we thought. Like, I don't want to give such like a strong opinion off of a 2-minute trailer, but I don't have any interest in seeing this. That's just me being blunt. Sorry, let's continue.
Agreed. And Pixar, I think, has fallen off the wagon recently in a couple of years. So, yeah. Anyway, first trailer for Wes Anderson's Asteroid City. Pretty stacked cast here. We got Margot Robbie, Tom Hanks, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston, Maya Hawke, Steve Carell, Willem Dafoe, and many more. Comes out June 16th in theaters. What are your thoughts?
So I thought that I saw this trailer, and then I realized I did not. So please tell me what the hell this is.
Okay, so I'm not a fan of Wes Anderson. He has a very like niche fan base as well. All his movies are like super. They have like a weird kind of tone to them, which I don't mind weird, but I just his movies don't do it for me. My favorite movie of his is Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is like an animated movie. But he does mostly live action stuff. So it just felt like a Wes Anderson flick. Stack cast, pretty movie to look at, but just something that's not for me. So that's what I took away from it. Not too much to add there.
Is it giving pretentious vibes, Mondi?
All his movies are pretentious, in my opinion.
Okay.
But yeah. We have the trailer for Sisu from the same producers of John Wick. This takes place, I believe, in some country in Europe. But this farmer finds some gold.
And Germany.
Something like that. These niggas come back to collect it, and they find out he's that guy.
Yeah, he's him.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is an interesting trailer. I got to see this one in the movie theater, and I'm kind of glad I did because the first half of the trailer, I thought that maybe it was gonna go like the California gold mine type thing. I was like, okay, this might be kind of interesting actually. Like I'm like a kind of niche nerd for history for that kind of bullshit. And then when it turns out that it was Nazi Germany, don't look at me like that, bitch. And it turns out it's like Nazi Germany, and that like he's like John Wick and these guys. Like I was like, okay, I'm here for this too. Like I'll check this bullshit out. I'm not expecting this to be good. If I'm being blunt, like I don't think this is gonna be like a great film, but I didn't think the first John Wick would be great, so I was wrong. It was great. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I would definitely check this out. It looked super interesting, like how he was like killing these guys, or like it's like you said, like the producers of John Wick made this, and you can absolutely tell. So yeah, I'll be checking this out.
Same, man. You know me. I love a good revenge flick, and this just screams that there's like I think it's gonna be awesome.
Hate this heart, boy.
I do. I think this is gonna be awesome. So I'm excited for it. So yeah, I love movies like John Wick, The Northman. Anything to do with revenge, sign me up.
Okay.
We have the trailer for Joyride. Coming to theaters July 7th. This is Stephanie Sue's first movie since Everything Everywhere All at Once, I believe. It's Autumn Asians, and they're going to China. That sounds crazy in terms of a description, but it's a comedy produced by Seth Rogen, I believe. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so another one I saw in the theaters. This one looked like a typical comedy film, which I'm not angry at. Like I loves me a good comedy. It takes place in their homeland, or some of them homeland. I think one of them was naturally born in China, and the rest of them are ABCs, if I remember correctly. So they're going to China for whatever happened, and a whole bunch of chaos ensues. Is it giving Hangover vibes from a trailer? Maybe. But yeah, I'm here for it. I mean, Stephanie Sue proving she can do whatever the fuck she wants after Everything Everywhere All at Once. So let's do it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I like the idea of, not just a white cast for
Hmm.
a comedy, but honestly, like you said, just gave a generic comedy.
Yeah.
I probably won't be rushing to the theaters to see this. If I hear some good things, maybe I'll check it out.
Right.
And it was a bold decision to cast 4 Asian women as your leads because I couldn't tell any of them castmates apart. While watching the trailer,
Whoa!
if I'm being
What?
real, yeah, I couldn't tell any of them apart. I was like, which one is Stephanie Sue?
Yo.
All
Oh
right,
my God.
moving on.
I'm not cutting that at all.
Moving on. Asian people, I love you. Moving on. We have the trailer for The Black Demon. Ooh, theaters April 28th. It's about like that fucking megalodon in Mexico. What are your thoughts?
Shark movie, sign me up. As soon as I saw there was about sharks, I was like, bitch, I'm there opening night. Like, what the fuck? I thought the main guy was George Lopez for like a half a second. I was like, what the fuck is George Lopez? Like, you're in here? It's not George Lopez, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's about a shark. Somehow these niggas get tricked into going on this one
Rig.
thing that's on the water. Yeah, this rig that's on the water, and the shark is attacking the rig, and he's gonna eat them all. Sign me up. Yeah, I'm here opening night. That's all I need. Thanks.
I'm surprised after the Meg that a movie would even attempt to do like another Megalodon shark movie. Like, I feel like they had like a monopoly on the Meg. Like,
Yeah,
the Meg 2 waited too damn long. Because these niggas say, you know what, bitch? We got something for y'all ass. Megalodon 2.0, nigga.
it's a fucking megalodon.
Bro, watch the post credit scene. Be Jason Statham. I heard you got a Megalodon the problem. Cross universes, I love it. Yeah, I'm here for it. But no, this movie looks horrible. I'm not gonna lie. I know you like this kind of shit. Yeah, I like this kind of shit too, to an extent. But this movie just looked like nothing I've seen, like I haven't seen before. So if you say it's good, I'll check it out. But other than that, I'm not checking for this one.
Wow.
We got the first trailer for Extraction 2, which has been released. It comes on June 16th on Netflix. The first one's to start Chris Hemsworth, produced by the Russo brothers. What are your thoughts? You don't watch the
So yeah, I did not watch the first Extraction, but I remember you telling me that you enjoyed it. Like it was a pretty good film, and this trailer, I like really appreciated the way it was shot. Like as somebody who loves going to the movies and who's watched films all his life. Oh, thanks, Monty, for the heart. You know, I just I can appreciate when somebody puts their time into something and then they release it instead of them just putting out like a generic trailer for any kind of movie. Because at the end of the day, this is an action movie, right?
Right.
So like, how can you make it different? And this trailer was a great trailer, man. Like just like the kind of one shotness, like the way they brought up the credit. It was great. It made me want to see it. But I will say, and again, I did not watch the first one. Does this nigga have the super soldier serum? Because what is going on? Like, yeah, like that was
Yeah.
kind of crazy. But go ahead, Monty. What'd you think?
Yeah, so the first Extraction was really good, and I have to give the Russo brothers their credit when it comes to these little action movies like the Gray Man, which came out last year, or the first Extraction. They do really good with like taking their time and making like memorable action set pieces, and the fighting choreography is really always really good. So I'm really excited for this one. Chris Hemsworth has already proven himself as he can be a super action star.
Hmm.
So I'm excited for it. He did kind of die in the first one, so it's interesting how they kind of brought him back. But yeah, I love it. And like you said, the teaser was just like that shot of him fighting those rioters or whatever. He like he was on some steroids, but
Hmm.
it was just amazing. It was just amazing. Like he's fighting somebody with like a flaming fist, and just the overall cinematography. I think like in the past recent years, like since the John Wick movies, they kind of started a trend of like action movies give a fuck again.
Hmm.
Like it's not just generic action. Like even like the Mission Impossible movies as well. Like they're putting real time into these action set pieces, and it's all the better for it in my opinion. So I'm excited.
I agree, man. I agree.
Last trailer here is for the Blue Beetle trailer. Comes out August 18th in theaters now, not HBO Max anymore. I think James Gunn was the one that kind of, and Peter Safran were the one that kind of pushed it to come to theaters now.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on this Blue Beetle trailer?
It looked good, man. Surprisingly, I don't want to say that I had low expectations, but
Shit,
this
I
is
did.
okay. This is this is another like D-list character. Like if it wasn't for Young Justice, I would not know who Blue Beetle was. And I will say one thing that bothered me a little bit was the fact that they didn't use a Mexican male voice as the Scarab. Like it was just some like random like white woman
Woman.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
agree.
like some random computer like sound like fucking Siri. Like I didn't like that at all. But other than that, the suit looked great. Like it looked like they put time and effort into the CGI. Okay, Monty, please stop. It's getting
No,
started.
no.
They put Tom Everett to the CGI, like the scarab attaching to his body looked like scary to an extent. And like yeah, like it looked great. Like the actor who's playing Jaime looks cool. They got George Lopez finally in here. So I'm here for it, man. Like it looks like they went kind of age appropriate with Jaime. They definitely got the Spanish background and portion of it right. So I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. What do you think of the trailer?
I thought so. First of all, I just want to say it's interesting. Like before Young Justice, like Blue Beetle was Ted Kord. He was the first Blue Beetle in the comics.
Yes.
And I feel like people love that rendition of Blue Beetle so much that like now Jaime Reyes is like it's like the Blue Beetle that's like the staple in the comics now and the one that people kind of refer to the most. I mean, he has a much cooler design, but it's just interesting how TV
Just like
at least,
Ant-Man.
yeah, how we've seen TV influence like what happens in the comics and shit like that. Anyway, but yeah, I thought that the trailer looked like just a basic generic ass not coming of age, origin story for a superhero.
Sure.
But all the effects looked great. Blue Beetle himself, the costume looked amazing. And so yeah, I honestly don't expect too much from a story standpoint from this movie, but I'm excited to see just how cool it looks. I thought it was cool how they used like the Lil Uzi song. I just want to rock in the trailer. That was pretty cool as well. So yeah, I'm here for it, I guess.
Doesn't sound like it, but okay.
No, I am. But the suit looks awesome though. I gotta admit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just talk what's coming to TV and movies. We have Grey's Anatomy has been renewed for a second. I'm sorry, a 20th season at ABC.
I was about to say second. Huh? That doesn't sound right.
That's insane. Snowfall spinoff is early in development at FX. So starring Gail Bean, who plays Wanda in Snowfall. She's rumored to star in this Snowfall spinoff. My thoughts to FX would be your first move is to make a spinoff show about somebody who was on crack. A crackhead? Come on now. I don't see any appeal to that, but hopefully that's just a rumor and not true because I'm not watching a fucking show about Wanda. That's someone who watches Snowfall. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Ryan Coogler is developing a new X-Files series with a diverse cast, apparently. Have you ever watched X-Files or do you care about this?
So no, I was never like this is just one of those shows that like it seemed like everybody loved, but I just never got into, and X-Files falls into that category. I don't care about this. Shout out to Ryan Coogler, but I don't give a damn.
So yeah, like you, I always heard about X-Files. I know it has a huge fan base. I never watched it, but just because Ryan Coogler is like one of my favorite directors now, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out just because of Ryan Coogler. Like that, I guess that's what they wanted too when they probably signed him on. Like he'll probably bring a whole new audience, and so it works for me. So I'll check it out.
He gonna get the niggas. Look at that.
he got me.
He got you.
You has been renewed for a 5th and final season at Netflix.
What?
The series You.
That sucks. That sucks. Okay. I still we still haven't gotten around to watching part 2, so I guess that kind of leads me to believe that Joe is going to make it. So yay. Or I guess it could be about a new character. That'd be stupid, but whatever. Okay, great. You season 5. Jesus Christ. This show is never going to die. It's crazy.
It literally is in season 5. I just said that.
Oh, this is the final season?
The 5th and final season.
Okay, great. Okay. Sorry. I heard you season and I was just like, there's no way there's another one. Got it.
Yeah, so I think this is very good news. I really enjoy the show. I think it's a great series overall, but it's time for some finality to it. There's no way they can just keep going around killing people. Like it's just not feasible. Yeah. And I think the show's kind of worn out his welcome a little bit too. So, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, the original cast of Scott Pilgrim versus the World are reprising their roles for an anime adaptation for Netflix. So the whole entire original cast of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So Michael Cera, everybody's coming back, which is that's insane to me.
This is one of your favorite films, right?
Yeah, Chris Evans, everybody's coming back. So it's gonna be really dope. You never watched Scott Pilgrim, did you?
Never.
As somebody who likes video games and anime, that's like this movie is like made for you. I promise you.
I'll check it out. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I mean, I know that you've spoken highly about it multiple times, so I'll check it out.
Yeah. Well, for fans of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, this is huge news, and everybody's excited to kind of see this anime adaptation. Grownish will end with its upcoming season X. What the hell am I saying? Season 6 at Freeform. So I'm probably the only one in the world who watches Grownish consistently. So yeah. It's the Blackish spinoff starring Yara Shahidi. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Disney is in talks to remake The Princess and the Frog into a live action film. Online, we've seen singers like Ari Lennox and Coco Jones submitting their, I guess, auditions without
Hmm.
no one asked them to. That they just really want to be Princess Tiana. It's
Okay.
interesting seeing all these people trying to make their auditions. I've seen other TikToks as well. So, what are your thoughts on should this movie be made live action? Would you see it live action?
Hmm.
He's pondering.
Yeah. So, guys, Princess and the Frog means a lot to me. I mean, it does. Like, it's she's literally the only black princess. It's in a black like it's just built in blackness, right? So, like, I really care about this, and I don't want them to fuck it up. But at the same time, they've remade Peter Pan, Pinocchio, and all these other old white bullshit classics for years. So let's get a live action Princess and the Frog. Let's put another. What if they cast a white woman as Princess Tiana for all the payback? You want a nigger bell? You want a nigger Ariel? We're gonna have a white. Damn, Monty is like this. That's not gonna happen. All right. Okay. So
I literally shoot up Disney headquarters.
that's funny. No, color doesn't matter. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I want this to happen. I want them to put the money in for the special effects for the Voodoo Master. I wish that fucking Keith David could voice him again because he was fantastic in my opinion. But yeah, let's do it. Let's let it happen. I'm here for it.
I totally agree. I think this needs to happen. And also just to kind of piggyback off your point of not only does it need to be a black woman, but it needs to be a dark skinned black woman, in my opinion. I think that representation was also just as important as the fact that she was black.
Hmm.
Give brown skinned, dark skinned girls somebody to look up to and attach themselves to. So I'm excited for it. I think it's really, really dope. Hopefully they can change the formula up a little bit. We can have more of Princess Tiana as a fucking princess, not a frog.
Hmm.
Because I know like that's like a big complaint that it got when it first came out. So I think Disney will recognize that and probably change the story up a little bit, tweak it to give us more actual Princess Tiana.
I hope so. I agree.
A live action hybrid remake of the Aristocats is in the works at Disney, with Questlove from The Roots is set to direct this film. Yes, I'll read that again. Questlove of The Roots is directing his first directorial debut. This will
The
either
Aristocats, huh?
this will either be the firest movie ever, like the most fire movie ever, or this will be a fucking disaster. And Disney's like, you know what, Questlove, have the Aristocats. We ain't giving you Princess and the Frog, nigga. You can have
Yeah.
Aristocats. If you fuck that up, that's on you. But what are your thoughts?
This is going straight to Disney Plus. I so first of all, I've never been a huge fan of like the Aristocats. Like I feel like I've seen it once when I was a kid, and I literally have never revisited it since.
Oh, you're crazy.
Um, I I remember the movie being fine, and I think there's like a bit that goes around, but I I don't have any love in my heart for this film, so I don't give a fuck about this, to be completely honest.
I do. I was a huge Aristocats fan. Had it on VHS. Watched it all the
Oh
time.
yeah, you're like a
Yeah.
diehard cat lover too, fucking weirdo. Grown ass
All
man with a
right.
cat. The heck, nigga.
Everybody wants to be a cat. You remember that song?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
That's what I said. Like
Um.
there is a bit that goes around. That's it. That's all I know.
Okay. Well, it's a great fucking movie. Okay.
Hmm.
Questlove, don't fuck it up.
He is.
A live action Street Fighter film is in the works at Legendary. Um, I
Wow.
guess after the success of Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter was like, I want a piece of the pie too. So, what are your thoughts on this?
You mean success? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean? Success?
quote unquote success.
Got it. Yeah, that movie fucking sucked. Let's do it, bro. Let's just get it all out here. Like let's just lay it on the line. Let's just do it. Like Street Fighter may be
Ew.
a bit easier to do than Mortal Kombat though. So actually, nah, Street Fighter. Yeah, whatever. Let's just do it. I'm here for it. Live action. Put it in theaters. I'll be there opening night. I mean, Street Fighter isn't my favorite fighting series. Obviously, Mortal Kombat is. But I will still go watch this opening night if it looks like they give a fuck about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like you, man. Let's make all these fighting movies into fighting games into movies. Let's do a Tekken movie. Let's do all this shit. I hope
Yeah.
it's cheesy as fuck. So I can just laugh and give it an F on Instagram. Um, Bill Skarsgård, who plays the iconic Pennywise in the reboot of the It movies, is not currently involved to return as Pennywise in the It prequel series coming to HBO called Welcome to Derry. And so, did you ever watch the It movies? You did, right?
Yeah, I watched the first two, of course.
Okay, so he was a big, he's a big draw to this movie. He kills it as Pennywise. So a lot of It fans are not happy that you wouldn't bring him back as Pennywise for Welcome to Derry series. So, do you have any thoughts about this, or do you care at all? Not really.
I mean, it is a weird decision. I mean, hopefully it is like the studio's decision and not his. But I mean, I would love to see him back as Pennywise, but if he thinks that he's just like too good to do it or whatever at this point, then to be damned with it. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure they can find somebody just to put on the makeup, honestly. So I really don't care. I just talk myself into it. I don't care.
Yeah, I want to say I care, but at the same time, I don't think I do either. To be honest, I think he killed this Pennywise. Don't get me wrong,
Sure.
but is that like a role where only Bill Skarsgård can do it?
Right, like nigga,
Yeah.
Put Tim Curry back into makeup. He can do it. Oh wait, he's dead. R.I.P. to Tim Curry. Sorry.
Anyways, Taron Egerton says he has ideas for Kingsman 3 that he's looking to pitch to Matthew Vaughn. His quote is, "I think that it will be happening soon, but he has the wheels in motion and a big idea of his own as well. So who knows, So Taron Egerton, who plays Eggsy, and he wants a Kingsman 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a Kingsman 3 as a question?
No. I think no. Seriously, I mean, look, that we got 2 in a prequel. I don't think we need any more, and I think that they told a story for Eggsy in the film, so I don't need any more. But that's obviously not going to happen. Kingsman 3 is definitely going to happen. It'll be out in 2 or 3 years, and we'll talk about it. But like, I don't need this movie. No.
I agree. I don't need it, but I would like it. I mean, I even enjoyed The King's Man, the prequel that came out like 2 years ago. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like the Kingsman world, so I don't need it, but like you said, I'd like it, I guess. Amanda Bynes was placed on psychiatric hold after she was found roaming. After she was found roaming the streets naked and alone. Amanda Bynes, she was such a child legend and star. It's just sad to see this life of hers, this path she's taken, I guess, drugs and all that shit. But what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man, it sucks, man. Like being a child, like this is really why a lot of parents don't want their kids to act, because like they feel like they're just like, yeah, like you'll get the money, you'll get the fame, but they're gonna grow up as a fucked up adult. Like Amanda Bynes isn't much older than we are. She's maybe 33, 34, maybe 36. I don't know, but like it's crazy. Like we hear this stuff all the time with these child stars. Like we can name them, like Lindsay Lohan, like Orlando
Brown.
Yeah, Orlando Brown. Like we can literally sit here and name people that are even fucking Josh, who's fucking doing perks and shit. Like what the fuck? Like
Shia LaBeouf.
I mean, it sucks, man. But hopefully she can get the help she needs and she can recover from this and come back like Lindsay Lohan did. So I like you, man. Like I love Amanda Bynes. She's a big part of my childhood. I hated when I saw that video on my timeline. So hopefully she can do better. Yeah.
I mean, Amanda Bynes, right? For those who don't know, maybe kids who weren't born in the 90s, like she is so talented. Like just go back and watch the Amanda Show. Like she was so good on all that, they gave her own show, which was the Amanda Show. And like I think she was before her time in terms of her comedic timing, all that kind of stuff. So it's sad to see her go down this route instead of like a more successful route.
Yeah.
And I guess other tabloidy news is Jonathan Majors was, of course, arrested in New York City for assaulting a woman that involved strangulation. Of course, his reps has come out and said that that's not true now. And it's been more evidence proving that necessarily didn't happen the way it was told to have unfolded. So he's in the clear now, it seems like, but he got like a lot of shit dropped from him, like his army ad and all that kind of stuff. So it just kind of goes to show like getting accused of something is almost as bad as actually doing that shit, which is bad these days. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, it sucks. Like it's funny though, when the news initially broke about this, I automatically was like, there's no way. Like there's no way that it went down like this. But when I heard reports that said that she actually had marks on her neck, I was like, oh no, this nigga's wilding. Like this nigga's wilding. Like he did that shit. But then yeah, like a day later, the lawyers came out. She recanted the statement. Apparently, there's a video coming out. So we'll see. I will say like people were quick to try to shit on Jonathan Majors just because he's dating a white woman.
So quick.
Like that was
yeah.
Well, no, I mean they were shitting on him, saying that like he obviously did it because he's dating with a white. Like come on, like just be more respectful. But yeah, I mean, hopefully when the undeniable video evidence comes out that this did not happen, everything will go back to normal. But yeah, I mean, it's a sucky situation either way it goes, because it's like you said, him just getting accused of it, like he lost money, and like we don't even want to think about that call with Kevin Feige. So we'll see what happens with it.
I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige called that woman and was like, "Hey, I got $5 million for you, bitch." Bring your story up.
Maybe.
And just like after seeing Creed 3 too, just the idea of that man putting his hands on even me would scare the fuck out of me. So I'm glad that's not true because
You just
yeah.
sound like the biggest bitch. That man. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's big old boy. Um, let's talk some video games, I guess, news just briefly. What were your thoughts on the 10-minute gameplay preview of Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom? All right, here we go. He's coming already,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm coming. This was everything that I wanted in a sequel. I The gameplay mechanics looked amazing. The graphics looked the same as Breath of the Wild, which I wasn't mad about. I was a fan of like the kind of cell shading animation they had in Breath of the Wild. Um, the fact that the game is like more vertical, where you can go up to these sky islands, you can do all these super cool things with the gameplay, and the biggest thing about it is the creativity factor of it now. Like this game is going to take you as far as your creativity can reach. Like you can fuse weapons. Um, you can like basically make structures. Like it's crazy like the amount of freedom that they allow in this game. So super excited for it. I've literally taken a week off of work when this game comes out. I'm not kidding, and I'll be playing The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I can't wait.
Fun news, I guess. Chad Stahelski, who is the director of John Wick series, all four of them, says he has interest in pushing forward his adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima into a movie. He said it has increased. I'm sorry, into a series, not a movie. He said this has increased after The Last of Us and how successful that was on HBO Max. The curse of the video game to movie is kind of lifted. He said it can be done after watching The Last of Us. All you have to do is give it love and attention. What are your thoughts?
I agree to an extent. I mean, even though I wasn't the biggest fan, I gave The Last of Us a B. I think that the story itself is an A, but the
You
way
gave it.
that it
You gave it a B plus. I gave it a B.
okay, B plus. So yeah, like I think the actual story of The Last of Us is obviously iconic. I think it's an A, but the way it was executed on screen was still very good, and I think that the masses really enjoyed it, and I think that they would do the same with Ghost of Tsushima. Uh, Obviously, the story itself isn't as good as The Last of Us, but the world is just so beautiful that I think that it can easily be captured on film, and it could. I think that people would absolutely tune in week to week to watch this show. Like this show can make waves. So I kind of agree with this sentiment, honestly.
And any thoughts on Chad Stahelski helming it, or John Wick guy?
I think he's perfect. I mean, this is a samurai show. I mean, there's
Hmm.
bow and arrows. There's no guns, so there won't be any gung fu or gun fu. But it'll still be cool to see like the creative way that he can do the kills with the swords and the samurai battles and just make it cinematic, make it an event. I think he's the right guy for it. If I'm being honest.
Agreed. It's interesting too how this guy went from being Neo or Keanu Reeves backup as Neo, his stunt double, to doing all this crazy stuff in Hollywood. I love it.
I love it, man.
Let's talk some DC news real quick. Dwayne Johnson, apparently, he's getting a lot of heat on. Have you been seeing the heat he's been getting?
Mhm.
Okay. The Rock. He vetoed a post-credit scene for Shazam: Fury of the Gods that would have included Aldrich Hodge's Hawkman and other heroes, including Shazam, into the GSA, or introducing Shazam to the GSA. So it's been just rumored that he's salty. His ego is like taking over, and he's doesn't want anything to do with Shazam, even though Black Adam and Shazam are super tied together in the comics. It doesn't make sense to have one without the other. Just what are your thoughts on just this whole The Rock and his ego and all this kind of stuff? Is it kind of tampering your ideas or your love for him, or do you not really care or buy into it that much?
Yeah, no. First of all, there's nothing The Rock can do short of like beating his wife that would make me look at him sideways.
Mm.
And this definitely isn't one of them. Like, first of all, Shazam fucking sucked, and the post credit scene that they were talking about they wanted wouldn't have saved the movie.
It's not a
So
matter of saving the movie. It's just a matter of
of the moment.
no, like that lineage. Like it makes no sense to have these Black Adam and Shazam movies be so separate and no kind of connective tissue between them. Like they're so tied together in the comics, it just makes zero sense.
So I agree with that, but um, from what I was hearing, the Rock did that because he really wanted the Black Adam and Superman thing to happen, and that post credit scene was way better. Now the direction of Black Adam versus Superman instead of Black Adam versus Shazam, I get comic purists wanting Black Adam and Shazam, but Black Adam and Superman would have been better, and
I mean,
Shazam. Shazam, in my opinion, would have eventually been brought into the fold. But like, I mean, look, I think all of what The Rock was trying to do were with good intentions. I don't think that he was trying to make Shazam less than. I think that he just had a vision for his character and where it was going with Superman, and things just didn't work out that way. I mean, like Black Adam doesn't even exist anymore, so it sucks. But I I don't blame Zachary Levi for being angry about it. I mean, obviously it's his film, but I think The Rock made the right decision at that time. Like, obviously, it's easy to look back now and everything's different and everything's changed and say that he was wrong. But at the time, I think he was right.
It's interesting. You keep saying what he wanted to do. Like at the
He's The
same
Rock.
time, he's still servicing the character of the Black Adam, though. Not it's not what The Rock necessarily wants to do. Is what serves the story, I guess, you know. And now it's even been reports that his ego was even the reason why the Black Adam wasn't even a villain in his movie, like how he is in the comics. How he was more like just basically like he wasn't even an anti-hero. He was just, the nigga was a hero in his movie. And they were saying The Rock didn't want to tarnish his image and be a true villain like how Black Adam is in the comics. Like if that kind of stuff is true, I don't know. It could be totally false. I don't
It
know.
could be, yeah.
But if that kind of stuff is true and you're letting your ego dictate a character's nature that is different than how it is in media, then that's an issue to me, because at that point you're letting your celebrity take away from what should actually be happening, and I don't like that kind of stuff personally.
Okay. Okay.
Do you agree with
Mm.
that or not really? You don't care?
In The Rock's case, I don't agree with that. No. I mean, DC was in shambles and he was trying to do what he could to save the entire of the DC universe. So but yeah, like when in like the Fast series, when his ego and Vin Diesel's ego is getting in the way of them being together,
Yeah.
then he's wrong. But
But
like
this is a trend with him though. He keeps wanting to have things go his way and be the center of attention. Bro, what are you doing?
I mean, like I said, in the Fast series, you're right. In the DC series, I don't agree. Like I think that he should have been like, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all are doing. This franchise is floundering and I can help. So yeah.
And just to add on to some more details that we've been hearing about The Rock and all his problems at DC, that apparently he wanted the DCEU to center around him and Henry Cavill Superman.
Mhm.
Like that kind of stuff is just like, bro, like that's just very egotistic to me, and that's weird. But speaking of Shazam 2, it's tanking really hard at the box office. It's the lowest opening in DCEU history. And Zachary Levi and The Rock have actually been beefing like out in the public, which is interesting as well too. And Vin Diesel, this is the funniest shit ever. Vin Diesel, this nigga chimed in on Twitter and siding with Zachary Levi, saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my family. I will have Zachary's back in this crusade against Dwayne." That was the funniest tweet of all time, in my opinion.
Oh God.
Get
over it, man. Get over it, bro.
What are your thoughts on that shit?
Rock wins. The Rock's better. The Rock has more star power.
See, that's why I don't like asking them about The Rock. You're just so fucking biased on his.
No, that's not true. I said,
can you
in
think
the Fast
objectively?
series- yeah, I said in the Fast series, he's wrong. I said that. But DC has no right to be like, we're DC. We're doing everything. Nigga, no, you're not. Like, you have fucking 7 movies when you should have 30 at this point. Like, they fucking floundered. They failed. They don't have a Superman. They don't have a Wonder Woman. They don't have a Batman. They failed. And The Rock was trying to do what he could to save it. The Rock was the one that brought Henry Cavill back. And the DC was like, no, fuck it. Fuck everything. We're just going to throw it all away. So, no, I don't agree with none of that shit. The Rock was right. God damn it. That's my stance.
Okay, but can you agree that Vin Diesel tweeting "the enemy of my enemy is my family" is not hilarious? Can you agree with that at least?
Oh yeah, I laughed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, last bit of DC news: the Batman Part 2, Robert Pattinson's Batman. The Clayface apparently will be in the film. Clayface, the villain, which is super interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
I like it.
Okay.
I like what? Sorry, what were you about to say?
No, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I like Clayface as the villain. I think, and you know what's crazy? I think kind of what they did with like the Batman animated series was like great for the character. Like actually making him an actual human being first and getting to know him, getting to love him, and then going through the transformation of Clayface. Hopefully they can do something similar here. They probably won't. I mean, hopefully it's not another 3-hour fucking film, but obviously they've got to kind of get to it. But yeah, like I like Clayface. I think he's a good villain for Batman, honestly. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Clayface is a great villain as well, but it's interesting because of the realism that the Batman kind of established. Like, can a character like Clayface, who's supernatural, quote unquote, when I say supernatural, he has powers. Like, can that fit in the world of like the Penguin and the Riddler and Catwoman, who are so like steeped in that realism? Like I think it can be done. I'm
Yeah.
just interesting to see how that transition will take, because Clayface is not somebody you can just he's not a mobster. His nigga has
Hmm.
power. His nigga has
Hmm.
powers. So that'd be really interesting to see in that tone of that movie, him being a villain.
Well, it's a sequel. They've got to do it bigger and better. So
Yeah.
I think this is their attempt to elevate the film. We'll
Hmm.
see if it actually does or not. But I mean, I like it. It's a ballsy move, but let's do it. I like it.
And also the main thing I want you to take away from that as well, that he's not the villain, because they say he's going to be in the film. They didn't say he's going to be the villain. So I'm thinking he's going to have like
Okay.
a minor role probably, because I feel like that they would have said he's the villain for Batman 2 if that was the case.
Hmm.
Okay,
Wait,
let's talk.
who is the villain for that film? Do we know yet?
It's still rumored to be Mr. Freeze, but it's not. It's not.
Ooh, I was
It's
like that
not.
too.
It's not confirmed yet.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk some series and movies reviews. The first review that I want to get to is My Hero season 5. I'm not.
Oh
I just
my
watched
God.
it.
Oh,
I
okay,
know.
okay. Season 6 is already out too, so I'll talk about that after.
Well, I'm about to watch season 6. So if you could,
Okay, no worries.
if you could avoid plot points, that'd be great in
Okay,
your review. Okay, so
sure.
season 5, I watched it. I know guys, it came out in 2021. I know, but Hulu takes so long to release their dub version that I finally watched it on Hulu because I watched it dubbed. Anime peers don't kill me. Anyway, I thought there were some really cool moments, some really cool power upgrades. Deku desperately needed a long range attack. He finally got one with the little power vines or whatever. Because
Black Whip.
Todoroki and Bakugo were killing his ass, and so that I think might even the playing field in terms of how he can have like a long range attack. Overall, though, I think that the series was it felt like a setup for season 6, and I keep hearing that season 6 is amazing. But I still okay, he's doing the evil laugh. I still really enjoyed season 5 though. The Class A versus Class B arc was cool.
Hmm.
The arc with Endeavor and his family, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm sorry, I don't care about Endeavor, how the trauma he caused Todoroki and the brothers and sisters. I just didn't care about that.
Okay.
Now the final arc was interesting as well, which was the Liberation Army versus the League of Villains. That was really cool. The backstory of freaking Shigaraki was heartbreaking. I was like, wow, like that was like the first time in the anime I was like, okay, I actually feel something. Like, um,
Oh, okay.
I was like, I mean, it was just done so well. Like I thought him as a
Hmm.
kid, and he just wanted his dad's approval, and he just kills his whole family by accident. Like that was like tragic as fuck, and
Hmm.
it really added some context to Shigaraki, and I really appreciated that. However, the final fight between Redestro and Shigaraki was underwhelming only. It was a good fight, but underwhelming only in comparison to the other season finale fights that I've seen. So overall, I still think My Hero is hilarious. I really enjoy watching. I have so much fun watching the show, and I'm excited for season 6. The whole Dark Deku thing has been spoiled for me on Twitter. I hate you niggas. But yeah, I'm excited for season 6. So what are your thoughts on season 6, real quick, without spoiling
Awesome,
any plot
man.
points?
Yeah. So since you haven't seen it yet, I'm gonna say very little, but I will say that this has been the best season of My Hero ever.
Oh wow.
It's been absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for you to see it, man. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say anything else because anything that I say is going to be a spoiler essentially. So, um, just watch it, bro. It's absolutely amazing.
Okay, you sold me. um, Outer Banks season 3 review. I know
Sorry,
you don't
sorry,
want.
sorry, sorry. Wait. Let me give my review of Attack on Titan. You're never gonna watch this anyway. So,
Yeah, go
um,
ahead.
Attack on Titan final season part 3. It's still not over, guys. They released like an hour special of the last few episodes of Attack on Titan. And I think they're gonna do the same with the final season part 4 later this year. But holy shit. Um, every single time I watch Attack on Titan, I'm just like, this is like the greatest piece of art I've ever witnessed. Like, I just I just can't believe the journey that we've been on with these characters, the twists and turns. The animation is so crisp, the voice acting is great, the action is just nuts. And then like Aaron, Aaron as a main character is just so fucking like he's he's so interesting, but he makes you think like he makes you think like literally what the fuck would you do if you were in my shoes? He really makes you think that. And it's crazy because he's committing genocide essentially. Like he's killing billions of people. And
Billions?
he started off as the protagonist. So yeah, to see his journey is just absolutely amazing. I can't wait for the conclusion coming out later this year. But guys, if you've never seen Attack on Titan, man, you've got to watch it. It's probably, when it's all said and done, it's probably going to be the greatest anime of all time. And I've said that multiple times, but it's I love One Piece. I love Dragon Ball. I love Naruto. Like I love those shows. But in terms of plot, those shows don't hold a candle to Attack on Titan. That's just my personal opinion. Now, is action better than the Dragon Ball Z? Of course not. Is the animation? Yeah, the animation's better. Are like the characters better? Probably not. But overall, as like a show in a vacuum, Attack on Titan is better than those shows. That's my opinion. But yeah, go ahead, Monty. Let's keep going. Sorry.
Actually, no, I do plan on watching it one day. I really do, because I'm here for multiple sources how great it is. So, yeah. Outer Banks season 3 review. I know you don't watch the show. I'll just briefly my thoughts. This show started off as just kids surfing, hanging loose, having fun.
I remember you telling me about this show that you actually like this bullshit. Go ahead.
I love. First of all, I fucking love Outer Banks, bitch.
Oh, you love it.
This show has evolved to these little white kids hanging out and having fun. So now these niggas are going on treasure hunts. They're getting shot at by mercenaries, and this is the kind of this. I love it. Okay, it's ramped up so much in terms of just what's happening and how these kids are able to get away with this shit. Like really, it's about some badass kids really just finding treasure and getting shot at every day. And every show has to involve two things happening in every show now. I've come to expect. Number one, somebody's going to get chased. And number two, somebody's gonna get shot at, or there's gonna be like some kind of Mexican standoff with a gun. And the fact that these kids are still like in high school is just hilarious to me. And what makes this show is the cast, man. This is one of those shows where the cast is so good, you can just watch them sitting around a campfire talking about their lives, and you can just have fun with it because the cast, like everybody gels so great. They have great chemistry, so I love it in terms of just that kind of stuff. I'd watch this same cast like in like another show about something completely different. And I'm calling it
Netflix, right?
Yeah, Netflix. And I'm calling it now season 5. By season 5, they will all have superpowers. Because that's how crazy the show's ramping up. Swarm review. Did you watch this show?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it. The only thing I know about it is based on the trailer and of course, the Halle scene or Chloe scene, but I know literally nothing about this show. Tell me about it. I'm interested.
Okay, so this is from Donald Glover and Janine Neighbors, both worked on Atlanta. Now I think this is a very unique vision, like the idea of toxic fandom and how far can it go. But overall, man, the payoff for this movie for this series just failed on its face. And the journey was not worth it.
Wait, whoa. Okay. When you say the payoff, so like, are you talking about your expectations or the actual payoff itself?
The actual payoff itself, what everything led to in the show.
Okay.
Now it's led by a great performance by Dominique Fishback, who's also going to be in the upcoming Transformers movie. She did really good, but just every episode just felt so mundane and so pointless. And like I said, like mundane is cool, I guess, if you have a good payoff, but there's no payoff. And this whole series felt like a very long, underwhelming episode of Atlanta in terms of its tonality. Like it just felt like, it felt like a bad episode of Atlanta. That's what it felt like. And so overall, I give it a D. Now there are like a lot of shock. There's a lot of shock value moments, like obviously the scene with Chloe getting clapped, and there's strippers and murders and shit like that, right? But in between all those shock value moments, it just adds nothing, and so I found it very boring. And so most people agree with me on my review on Instagram. So yeah,
this is Amazon Prime, right?
Amazon Prime, yes.
Yeah, damn. Well,
Swarm.
All right, okay. I'll have to catch the next season. I guess I'm not watching it.
Now let's get into some movies. Now, the first movie I just kind of want to briefly go over is 1001. This is the new movie starring Tiana Taylor. I'm pretty sure you haven't heard of this or seen it.
Nope.
Okay, well, it stars Tiana Taylor. It's basically about a mother who's in prison at Rikers Island, and she gets out and she finds her young son on the streets of New York in 1994, and it just kind of follows their journey as a mother and son from 1994 to 2005. So all the actors stay the same except for the son. Obviously, he's aging, so we see him at 7, we see him at 13, and we see him at 18. And this is a really good movie, man. I don't think most people will like it. I think you have to have like a different kind of movie palette, like a A24 kind of like, it's slow, like it's not really like action packed or anything like that. But just the moments that work in this movie really worked and they really impressed me. Tiana Taylor did amazing in this role. As an actress, she's shown me something. I look at her as more than just an artist now. And overall, like the movie it's 2 hours long. You feel its length in the back half of the movie, but at the end of the movie, there's a conversation between Tiana Taylor and her son when he's 18 now, and that broke me. Like when I say broke me, like it made me shed a tear or two, and it kind of made the whole 2 hours of it, like, because I was bored at points. It kind of made all of it come together because you start to learn that like when you spend that much time with these realistic ass characters, you really start to care about them, even subconsciously. And so when that conversation happens and you see everything unfold and it comes to this this crescendo of a conversation is really just a powerful moving conversation. So I really appreciate this movie. I recommend it if you like those kind of movies, I guess, about like A24 kind of feel, like kind of slow moving, but like more so just big character studies. I recommend it.
Awesome.
John Wick Chapter 4. I got some things to say about this. Did you watch this movie?
Of course, I was there opening night.
What are your thoughts, man? Go ahead and get into it.
Wow. Okay, so no. I saw it Friday because you texted me about it Thursday, and I
Yeah,
saw
you
it
got mad at
Friday.
me.
Yeah, because you're like, go see it, bitch. Cause nigga, you're so annoying. All right,
All I said was John Wick is him, guys. He's exaggerating.
Yeah,
I did not say go see
yeah.
it, bitch.
That's exactly what that means. And I went to see it. Okay, so I enjoyed it, man. Of course, I mean I knew it would. I mean, this is the fourth fucking time. The Matrix and the Matrix Revelations. Is that what the fourth one was?
No, that was a Matrix Resurrected something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, whatever the fucking fourth Matrix was, they are so glad that the pandemic happened and this movie and the Matrix weren't allowed to come out on the same day. Because remember, a few years ago, that was supposed to be the plan. You know, Keanu Reeves was supposed to dominate the box office. It's going to be the Matrix and it's going to be John Wick 4. Because this would have destroyed the Matrix. This movie was so much fun, man. I mean, when you go to, it's kind of like Fast and Furious to an extent. Like when you go to see it, like you pretty much know what to expect, but that's not a bad thing. Like you're going to see a John Wick movie to see John Wick kill a whole bunch of guys, and that's what he does, of course. The one thing that bothered me was Donnie Yen. Like I'm such a fan. Like I'm such a fan, and I thought that this would be a great role for him to like really get into like his martial arts stuff. And they made him blind for literally no reason. Like they explained it in the film like he did it to save his daughter, like he gave his eyes or whatever the fuck. But there was really no real reason for that. Like, it was stupid. But I still think that he did what he could with what he was given. But obviously, Keanu Reeves, man, he was out here just murking everybody, and it was just so fun to watch. I will say, the opening in Japan was a little long. Like I'm not sure why that entire scene was just so long, but
30-minute fight sequence. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, let's trim it down to 22 minutes. I don't need 30 minutes of just nonstop action. But the fight scene in the club with the fat dude was just mwah. Like that was just crazy. Like first of all, nobody cares that there's just mass murder. Like they're like literally like people just getting gunned down. Boom, boom, boom. They just
bruh. The memes are so funny on on Twitter.
So funny, yeah. And the big dude was giving John Wick hands. Like he was beating his ass slick.
The big dude, but you know that big dude's he's like a real stunt coordinator in Hollywood. He's like a very like revered stunt guy. Like he's like a real action guy. But he's in a bodysuit. He's in a fast. Yeah. He's in a. That's why he was able to like move so limber and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. John Wick. Yeah, he was just on the super soldier serum. Like the dude fell 20 stories and got up. He fell in the club and got up. He fell down 30 flights of stairs and got up. And I was here for it. This movie gave me pretty much what I wanted in a John Wick Chapter 4. The black guy and the dog, I feel like they were only there for the bit at the end. Like when he was like, "Oh, you almost killed my dog," and then because like obviously it's a callback to the first film, and he didn't really add much if I'm being honest. But yeah, man, I loved it. I gave it an A. I loved it.
Yeah, man, this movie was great, man. Best movie I've seen of the year so far. The only A I've given so far this year. And I think Keanu Reeves can go ahead and add another iconic fight franchise under his belt. I mean, iconic movie franchise. He got the Matrix now, and Nick can say now he got John Wick too. Like two iconic franchises.
Part 3, in my opinion, but yeah,
you're right for sure. And the fight choreography was godly as always. So creative. Like it's like the audience was like literally like laughing in theater. I was in just like not at like just at like some like at the creativity of some of the fight scenes. They were like, wow, like like they really pulled that off. Like, and that's just really cool to be a part of. I was literally like sitting there at times shaking my head, like, is that really happening? Like.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole sequence, like the intersection sequence in the cars, like I was like, who thought
that
of
was
this?
Brilliant stuff.
I'm like, bro, who thought of this shit, bro? This is insane. Like, and just in my opinion, just overall great way to close out a franchise. And like, what more could you want in an action movie? Like if you think this is like a average movie, like I mean, if you're going into it for action, like what more could you want? Like I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny too, like. well, also not funny, but like the part in the movie when like Lance Reddick died was like a little like damn, like people in the audience were like, oh, I was like that was a little rough, like
Yeah.
the timing of everything
Yeah.
that kind of threw me off a little bit, but other than that, I like how it kind of slowed down too a little bit. Like part three was just go go go, like Parabellum was just like start to finish action the whole way through. Like this movie did have like like I said like 30-minute action sequences, yeah, but at the same time there was an actual story told in between those big ass set pieces, and I thought that was really cool too because I was like I don't want part four to just be go 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 because then like you're just trying to outdo part three in terms of like the action, but I like how it changed the pace a little bit. If that makes any sense. And John Wick, bro, this nigga's voice is just iconic now too. he might have said 5 words in that entire movie. Like John Wick, you ready to go? Yeah. I need guns. Like, is this nigga autistic? Like, I don't know. I love it. I love it though.
That's gonna be canon very soon. He is gonna be autistic.
For representation. And it's just also like you said, Donnie Yen. To me, I didn't have a problem with him. This nigga basically like Daredevil on steroids. I liked him. And also the whole thing with the whole bulletproof suits and the blind assassins, like this is just now it just feels like comic book territory, right?
It is, yeah, it is.
It's like part one was like I feel like would like maybe could really happen. It's just this super trained assassin. But this nigga lives in like a comic book world now. So that was really cool. Also, I like how each film expands the lore like tenfold. Like in part one, I would have never guessed that there was an assassin's table and all this kind of shit going on. So I like how they have like a real fleshed out world. And Bill Skarsgård killed it as the villain. I thought he was really compelling as the villain.
That was him, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the Skarsgård brothers, man, they're all super talented. Stellan was great in Dune. Alexander Skarsgård great in Infinity Pool. Like they're all just really good. I think they're more talented than the Hemsworths. And just some really good quotes as well in the movie. Like something that said that to me was like, a man's ambition should never exceed his worth. That was a great quote. They said, those who cling to death live, and those who cling to life die. Like that's like just some great ass like ninja samurai quotes that kind of stuff. I just eat it up. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
One thing I'll say is that even though obviously it's a fourth installment of a film, it has to get bigger. It has to get better. They've got to do things that they've never done. I kind of miss the hotel aspect of it. Like I kind of miss that part of like it being a safe haven and this is where everybody meets and like this is like this super secret society. Cause like when they're just firing off in like parks and shit, like it's a little weird, honestly. And like there's like no police presence. Like there's like the police and the military just don't exist.
Or even like regular civilians. Like on that staircase, like where's everybody at?
Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, man, like I said, like I really enjoyed it. I mean, I wish that Donnie Yen and who knows, I mean, based on the post-credit scene, maybe we could be getting more of him.
Oh, but, definitely.
I hate that he had to be blind for this and but I mean, we know that he can do action. Like it's not a matter of capability. I just don't know why they decided to make him blind, but whatever. That's enough of that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it an A.
I think just for him to like stand out as a character and add something different. But
he could have done it with his action. He's a fucking kung fu star. He could have done it with that.
Agreed.
That's exactly my point. Like he doesn't need to be blind to stand out. This is Donnie fucking Yen.
Right.
Like what are we doing? It's just stupid.
Interesting. He was blind in Rogue One too.
Yeah. Like why? No, it's racist. It's racist.
But yeah, after watching this movie though, like Frank Castle, Jason Bourne, James Bond, you guys are all great. But John Wick,
well,
I think he's top of the mountain pole right now. Mountain pole? That's not a word.
It's not.
He's top of the mountain right now.
If you give them all the bulletproof suits, who walks away?
John Wick. Bruh. I've never seen those niggas take on 100 assassins at one time. Like it's insane.
You haven't seen The Punisher, have you? Yeah. Okay.
100 assassons?
Frank Castle's him, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. And he don't got no fucking bulletproof suit. But
you're right. I mean, but he had like a bulletproof vest on though.
Okay. Yeah, he does.
Okay. Anyway, this review for A Good Person, the movie starring Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman. Did you watch this?
No.
Okay.
Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh. No.
Okay. Anyway, I think they both deliver really great performances in this movie. It deals with like addiction, suicide, depression. So if you're kind of like, if you dealt with that, this movie can be very triggering. Some very like raw scenes involving that kind of stuff. Overall, I think it was really good, man. It has enough humor sprinkled throughout by Morgan Freeman, mostly, that really just kind of helps with the whole levity of the movie. But I enjoyed it. I think it requires I think this movie is very long. It's like 2 hours long, right? And I kind of hate that for like a lot of these new movies that are coming out. But with this kind of movie, I think it helps it because the transition of somebody's journey from being a drug addict to sobering up and being, I guess, a good person, quote unquote, the title is, you kind of need that length to kind of really follow a realistic journey. So I thought at the end of the movie, I was okay with that. And yeah, I think it's a good movie if you want to check out just like a heartwarming drama about a man and a woman, because I think it's really good.
All right.
Um, Last review here is for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Did you get a chance to watch this one?
You're hilarious. You actually went to see this bullshit?
Yo, you didn't watch it?
Dude, I told you I was not going to watch this bullshit. But tell me,
Okay.
how was Chris Pine and Renee John Page and Michelle Rodriguez and Justice, whatever the nigga name is?
This
How
is a
was it?
lot of fun. This is a lot of fun, bro. Like, and
Oh.
I had no prior context. I never played the board game. I never reached that level of fucking nerddom. Um, but it's this movie felt like Lord of the Rings, right? But MCU in the MCU. It's got an MCU tone through and through, like the cracking jokes here, and I think that worked for this movie. I think it did work.
Mhm.
Definitely inspired by like Guardians of the Galaxy, like taking a ragtag group of people and putting them against these impossible odds, and they're cracking jokes the whole time. But it really worked. It has some really dope magic sequences and like sorcerer sequences are really cool with like the camera work and the effects and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, I want to see this movie expand into like a 8 movie franchise. Like I think it's some potential there to have some really good
Wow.
stories here. So I enjoyed it. A lot of fun. Nothing that you won't expect, but a good time at the movies. I'll say that for sure. Chris Pine did really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the whole cast did really good.
That's interesting. Avi really wants to see this movie, so I mean, I guess I'll have to check it out now. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
But I
see
mean, she only
here.
wants to see it for one reason. So,
What? What's her reason?
a boy from Bridgerton's in it.
Oh, she
That's her
likes him.
guy. That's her guy.
Okay, okay. Well, he's not in the movie that much, actually. Oh, I'll say that.
Mm.
But he did really great in the movie. He like the Drax of the group. He's like doesn't understand jokes and shit like that. Anyway, but yeah, watch it, check it out. It's pretty good. Let's see. Last bit of Marvel news here. Liv Tyler is returning as Betty Ross in Captain America 4.
Who?
Um, that was super disrespectful what you did on Twitter, by the way. But yeah, for those who don't know, she played Bruce Banner, Edward Norton's love interest in the Incredible Hulk, which came out years and years ago. Do you care about this at all? I'm
I
assuming no.
don't give a single fuck.
Okay. Well, this is no surprise to me since the Thunderbolt Ross is returning. However, it's going to be a different Thunderbolt. It's going to be played by Harrison Ford, not the real one because he died. William
Mhm.
Hurt, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah, it's no surprise there. But sure. Come on back, Liv Tyler. Let me see here. Oh, Karan Sony and Leslie Uggams, who played the taxi driver and the blonde black lady from Deadpool movies, will return in Deadpool 3. And I think these are great side characters to return. So I think they're really funny. So I'm excited they're back in the
Cool.
MCU, should I say?
Yeah, let's do it, I guess.
And Owen Wilson will reportedly return as Mobius in Deadpool 3. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this? This is kind of
This
weird.
is yeah, this is interesting. Apparently there's going to be a lot of TVA stuff and this is going to bring all the crossovers that you thought were going to happen in
Multiverse of
Multiverse of
Madness.
Madness. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this let's do it. I mean, whatever. Shout out to Owen Wilson for getting more work here. Looks like he's heavily in season 2 of Loki, obviously, and then looks like he's going to be in this too. So I'm happy for him, honestly, and I think it makes sense to bring Deadpool over because like there's just nothing but jokes and side eyes you can do. Um, I love it. I think it's a great decision.
Same here. I'm just interested on the tone. Like, will they keep that hard R? I doubt it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Kit Harington's role in Blade as the Black Knight has been cut or severely reduced, according to rumors. What are your thoughts on this? Did you want to see his Black Knight in Blade?
Of course, yeah. I mean, they introduced him in Eternals just for Blade, literally. So, I mean, there was a whole post-credit scene about them too, specifically. So,
Mhm.
like, yeah, like, I don't. Hopefully, this isn't true. But I mean, I know Blade might not even be happening. Like, this
It-
thing is going to be in like development hell or something. I don't know. I mean,
It's going through hella
so
rewrites.
yeah. I mean, we will see. Hopefully, that's not the case. Though I think Kit Harington's way too talented to be put on the sidelines. But obviously, it's a Blade movie, and if they feel like it just doesn't fit in what they're trying to tell for Blade, then it kind of is what it is. But it does suck. I mean, I I was excited to go see Blade, not just for Mahershala Ali's Blade, but for Kit Harington. Like I'm a fan, so it sucks if it's true. Hopefully it's not.
I get everything a lot too, but I'm glad because in my Blade movie, all I want is niggas and vampires. I don't want no other body.
Wow.
I don't want a white man coming here trying to steal the show. So I need niggas, vampires, and corny punchlines, and that's all I need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill.
They better bring that fucking line back too. But yeah, and guys, that wraps it up pretty much. That's everything we got here.
Awesome. Monty, thanks, man. News reviews, updates, tidbits is a great segment on the pod. And yeah, we're going to keep bringing it for your ass. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Monty.
Thank you. Bye.